Hey, what is up everyone? It says welcome back to another Battlefield 6 video. So over the weekend, a bunch of developer interviews popped up on YouTube, and in those interviews, the developers revealed some pretty interesting facts about Battlefield 6, some pretty controversial facts in my opinion. So in this video, we're gonna break them down. If you guys are planning to play Battlefield 6 open beta and also later the full launch and you wanna have daily videos on that game, consider dropping a like and a subscription. Thank you so much. This interviews happened at the Battlefield 6 multiplayer reveal event, and it featured multiple developers in those interviews. So this is just a collection of what they all said. So let's start with the first thing. The open beta features one field training per class, but in the full game, there'll be two per class. If you're brand new to Battlefield, we had a similar system in Battlefield 5, which is the game you're watching on the screen right now. Let's say you wanted to play Assault class. You could pick between two different combat roles, Light Infantry and Tank Buster. When you picked a combat role, you also got the traits that came with that combat role. So as Light Infantry, you could get a bit more ammunition when you defeated people off their dead bodies, and you would regenerate a little bit more health than other classes, which was nice if you're a bit more infantry player focused on the battlefield. As Tank Buster, you had more anti-vehicle capabilities, so those traits weren't really overpowered and they didn't really break the game, but still there was a distinct difference between Light Infantry and Tank Buster. So in the Battlefield 6 open beta, this will not be available. You will only be able to play one combat role or specialization. Moving on, apart from Operation Firestorm, DICE plans to add even more classic maps later on to Battlefield 6. I think personally, this is great. This is really good fan service. And this could be a plethora of maps. Siege of Shanghai, Senate Crossing, Operation Metro, Locker, you name it. There's a bunch of maps that people really loved from old Battlefield games. And hey, perhaps if Battlefield 6 is good enough, maybe those people buy the game and go play Operation Locker on BF6 and not on BF4. Maybe this is the plan all along. I'm just kidding, but hey, this is great. How they're gonna be added, who knows? If I had to guess, they're gonna run some type of popularity contest or a poll, and then whichever map wins the most votes is gonna get into Battlefield Labs for testing, and then we're gonna get over in multiplayer. Speaking of fan service, here's a feature which is returning to Battlefield 6, which is definitely not a part of the fan service. The split swap mechanic is back for most of the sniper rifles. As I was reading this, my iPhone was already flying across the room, because if there's one thing which I really despise in Battlefield 1, the one thing which really brings down Battlefield 1 for me in gameplay department is the sweet spot mechanic. It's so brokenly overpowered, and I cannot believe that outside of everything that people are requesting, the server browser, this and that, this is what they're bringing back, something I think nobody requested. I'm actually serious. I haven't seen a single comment on my videos or on Reddit or my ex, or nobody ever DM'd me, Ace, are they gonna bring back the sweet spot mechanic? I was completely flabbergasted when I read this. Sweet spot mechanic of all things, this is what you decided to bring back? I truly hope that in the beta, when everybody's gonna shit on the sweet spot mechanic, just like they did in BF1, hopefully they remove it before launch. There is a little bit of a time window to remove this mechanic before launch. Because, let me tell you, if this is just gonna be one-for-one Battlefield 1 sweet spot mechanic, it's gonna be really oppressive in Battlefield 6. The reason it was so broken in Battlefield 1 is because, first, in Battlefield 1, there's barely any bullet drop. And in Battlefield 6, from what I could tell, there's also barely any bullet drop on the sniper rifles. You just get one tapped across the map. 500 meters on Capstone, you just get one tapped. This was the problem with the sniper rifles and sweet spot in Battlefield 1. Then in Battlefield 1, there were also sniper variants of a couple of bolt rifles, which gave them like 900 muzzle velocity, so it's basically just hit-scan weapons one-shotting you across the map. It was truly pathetic. There are some arguments, I think, why they're returning it. I'm going to discuss those in a second, but I still think this has no place in Battlefield. And I think when they removed it in Battlefield 5, I think it really made Battlefield 5, at least gameplay-wise, I'm talking about just going around and shooting people, capping flags, a little bit less frustrating. You didn't have to deal with sweet spots, and you didn't have to deal with gas spam, would be like my two things I really disliked in Battlefield 1. So in that aspect, I think Battlefield 5 had a little bit more replay value when it came down to just day-to-day gameplay, let's call it that. Okay, let's look at it logically. I think the only plausible reason why they're bringing back the sweet spot mechanic, at least for the open beta, is because the Battlefield 6 maps are pretty tiny for Battlefield standards anyway. So perhaps in their internal playtesting, as well as in Battlefield Labs, maybe the sniper rifles were just completely worthless. So the only way they thought bringing them back in line is by bringing them back sweet spot mechanic from Battlefield 1. I think this is probably the only plausible reason, because beyond that one, other than stupidity, I truly don't know why they would be even considering bringing this back in Battlefield 6 open beta or the full launch. It's truly something I dislike. Moving on, there will be mouse and keyboard support for consoles, and escalation supports 64 players. Escalation is the exclusive game mode which is coming with Battlefield 6. I'm actually looking quite forward to this mode. It looked pretty sick from the multiplayer reveal trailer. It looks like something new, and I like new things in Battlefield games. So I'm looking forward to that one. And it starts with up to 7 capture points. As flags are lost, additional vehicles come in reinforcements. Maybe it's gonna be a big tank farm map. Who knows? They also said that not every game mode will be available on all maps. So this is a bit unfortunate. I think they should actually make every game mode be available on all maps. Perhaps you like to play Rush on Capstone, and if there is no Rush on Capstone, then you're gonna have to play Breakthrough. So yeah, Evolution will not be returning in Battlefield 6. So the bridges on the Brooklyn-based map will be destructible in the campaign only, and not in multiplayer due to performance reasons. And I think this is a great decision. I think Battlefield 6 is going to be a pretty heavy game on the computer, so having something lowering your frames as a gimmick that came in a game 12 years ago is probably not a good look for them. So I think this decision is amazing for them. Hats off to the devs for this decision. Weapons will come with some base attachments unlocked, but players will be able to unlock more as they progress with each weapon. So I think this is great. Progression is important in Battlefield. I made a whole separate video about progression a couple of months ago. I will actually leave a link to that video in this video's description, so go check it out. It's from like 6 months ago. Progression is sorely missed in Battlefield. For example, I like the Battlefield 4 progression a lot. If you equip a weapon, let's say you were playing on the American side and you want to play with M16, you needed 10 kills to get red dot, then another 10 kills to get an ergo grip, and so on. I think that progression was pretty cool. Not the battle packs, those I didn't like, but the progression for some base attachments was very basic but fun to do on all guns. So I hope it returns a bit more in that style and not some other maybe modern style, if you know what I mean. And finally, apart from vehicles we've seen so far, there'll be even more vehicles at launch. This gave me some hopium/copium that perhaps naval warfare is finally going to return to Battlefield, less seen in Battlefield 1, but in my opinion the best done in Battlefield 4. I think Battlefield 4's composition of land, sea and air was really good, and they used that entire composition for marketing purposes as well to promote Battlefield 4 before the game came out. I honestly don't see much reason why they wouldn't include Battlefield 4 attack boat and reboat in Battlefield 6. In the multiplayer reveal trailer of Battlefield 6, we do see a couple of Amtraks coming out of the water, so they are floating, so maybe some water physics are already done for launch, and maybe they're gonna just plug in the boat and the ribboat and they're gonna work. Because the attack boat was a very fun vehicle in Battlefield 4, it's very useful as well. You had a very unique cannon, you could use a TV missile or the TOW missile, or you could be also an anti-air boat. You could deploy infantry with jet skis on flags, you acted as a spawn beacon, you acted as a transport vehicle, just all around, just a very good vehicle and useful all around. So I'm hoping we do see it back, it's good. With that being said, this might be my last video before the open beta, but I think I'll do one more just before the beta drops. That means that my Battlefield Labs coverage era is ending. And I want to thank everybody who has been here with me since January. Your support really means a lot to me. I'm truly hoping Battlefield 6 is going to be a decent game that we can all enjoy, and then we have something new to talk about. Because let me tell you, I love the old Battlefield games, I truly do, but I think I'm ready to move on. I want to play something that's been a very long time. So that also means that since I'm going to be playing the open beta and the launch shortly after, there's not going to be old Battlefield games gameplay for a while on this channel. So I'm just letting you know it officially ends, at least for the foreseeable future. Maybe I'll do something in the future where I play the old games as like a member stream or something, we'll see. But for the foreseeable future, it's going to be only Battlefield 6 moving forward. Unless Battlefield 6 is going to be a complete dumpster fire on launch, then I'm going to be right back where we started at the beginning of Battlefield Labs Alpha, me playing BF3, 4, 1, and 5. With that being said, if you enjoy watching the video, then leave a like and a comment. For the algo, if you were new here, then subscribe. I will be going hard in Battlefield 6 and would love to have you with me. Guys, have a nice day. Until next time, bye-bye.